It is essential for every writer to understand how to avoid plagiarism. Plagiarism can happen anytime we use someone else's ideas, words, structure, or research without giving proper credit. In this video, we will break down what plagiarism looks like, why it's more common than many students realize, and how you can avoid it in your own writing. The most obvious kind of plagiarism is using someone else's exact words without including a proper citation. Here is a sample sentence. Supplementing with at least 1.5 grams of cinnamon per day can reduce levels of triglycerides, total cholesterol, and blood sugar. Say this information was taken word for word from a student. The correct approach to using the exact wording from a source is to treat it like a quote. In the corrected sentence, the author's name and the year come first to properly introduce the quote. The quoted words are placed in quotation marks, and a paragraph number is given afterward to show exactly where the quote appears in the online article. Although using direct quotes is permitted, it is best practice to not rely too heavily on them. Your work should be primarily your own ideas and words, supported rather than replaced by research. Imagine a 5-page long essay with 6 huge quotes. It is technically cited, but it's really just a collage of other people's writing. The best approach is to use the 80-20 rule, which means that 80% of your paper is your own analysis, explanation, and insight, and 20% of your paper is borrowed information from outside sources. Putting information into your own words can be challenging, and that struggle sometimes leads students to a type of plagiarism called patchworking. Patchworking is when someone changes only a few words from the original source instead of truly rephrasing it. So here's an example. The original source here is the Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension diet is designed to prevent and treat high blood pressure, also called hypertension. Here is a too close paraphrase. The Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension diet is meant to prevent and treat high blood pressure, which is also known as hypertension. Now here is good paraphrasing. The Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension diet focuses on lowering and controlling high blood pressure through healthy habits. To help avoid patchworking, read the source aloud, look away, and then rewrite the idea in your own natural voice. Reusing your own previous work can also be considered plagiarism, unless the assignment allows it. Say a student were to copy half of their Week 2 paper into the Week 6 paper. Even though they wrote it, they are still submitting old work as if it is new. Make sure to always start off with a blank page. Do not pull from old assignment or previously retrieved sources. Only reuse content from previous assignments if your instructor states that it is allowed to do so. Students can accidentally plagiarize not only by copying exact words from a source, but also by borrowing the author's ideas or concepts without giving credit. Here's an example. Say you read an article that stated that preschoolers engage in significantly more solitary play than kindergartners. You then write an essay that makes the claim, preschool-aged children spend much more time playing alone than children in kindergarten. Even though you use your own words, the idea itself came from a source. Therefore, you will still need a citation. If any information in your assignment is not considered common knowledge, you should cite the source you used or find a reliable source that supports the point you are making. A citation without a corresponding reference and a reference without a corresponding citation can also be considered an academic integrity issue. Think of in-text citations and references as a pair. In-text citations are where the idea appears, and references are where the reader can find the concept. If you cite a source in your paragraph but the source is not listed on the reference page, the reader cannot verify the information, which makes the work appear not credible. Always check that every in-text citation has a matching reference and vice versa. To maintain academic integrity, writers should quote accurately by using the source's exact words within quotation marks and providing the appropriate citation. When paraphrasing, it's important to genuinely restate the idea in your own natural voice, rather than simply replacing a few words. And make sure to still credit the author. You should also cite ideas even when you phrase them differently, because the concepts themselves came from another author. Additionally, avoid reusing your own work unless your instructor has explicitly permitted it, as submitting old writing as new counts as self-plagiarism. Finally, always ensure that every in-text citation has a matching reference entry, and every reference corresponds to a citation in your paper, so that your sources are fully traceable and your work remains credible. We hope this tutorial assists you in avoiding plagiarism. If you have any questions about the information presented here, please feel free to contact us. You can reach us at the Math and Writing Centers at teamsucceed@columbiasouthern.edu or by phone at 877-875-0533. Thank you for watching.